And not Tony Robbins, but for those who know, I practice a complementary therapy called Life Alignment, and I have done for nearly 30 years. My list of body points, and we have stem cells on the list, we have done for years. So something I've worked with for a long time, but with a cellular memory attached to stem cells.
Oh, cool. You have to tell about that. I haven't heard cellular memory attached to stem cells. You'll have to.
Well, to everything, you know, the body stores memories in the cells. So we have points for every single part of the body.
Okay,
these are all my body points. Oh, okay, you can see maybe. You see my body point list.
There we go.
Lots and lots. And then I have emotions lists that are just as big, longer actually. 4 pages of emotions.
So I can make a little bit of an announcement for next Wednesday. We're going to have Dr. Allison going to give the presentation on Wednesday. So that's going to be really interesting. I've heard her give a presentation the other day, and I helped her with it with English doctors. And it's really interesting to have a doctor. You know, it was the first time I'd heard her presenting. So that's one thing we can announce. And I don't know, are we going to start from next Monday? Chris, having two.
And let's do it the Monday after, because it's a public holiday here in South Africa on Tuesday. Okay. So let's do it the Monday after. So we're just getting, we're getting a demand that people are, a lot of people have got commitments on a Wednesday night. And we just felt that we're going to do presentations for people on Mondays and Wednesdays. I think that's just going to help a lot of people. So it's extra work on our side, but I tell you what, there's so many people putting their hands up wanting to present. So I'm going to be in training mode. So between like myself, Merle, George, Pierretta, well, we're going to get a lot of people up on the stage presenting, you know, so it's going to be fun.
Definitely. You know, ideally for everybody, we should have, you know, everybody in their downlines should know that there's 3 or 4 Zooms happening every night somewhere in their downline. Okay, so hi everybody. Thank you very much for coming. We're 6 minutes in. I know there's a couple of more people who want to come and have said they're coming, but we'll start now. One of the things that we can do when we're developing our LifeWay business is have preferred customers. What is a preferred customer? A preferred customer is somebody who's not in the matrix, who's not trying to build out their business. Now, I have never signed up a preferred customer. Some of my people have here in Spain, but mostly because, well, the first ones were because it was sort of elderly parents who wanted to buy, who are never going to be doing the business or be on the matrix. So in that sense, one of my friends, her mum, all her mum's friends' orders go on a preferred customer account, and she makes a commission on all of those purchases. We'll talk about the commissions and the points in a minute. But one of the things that I understood, and it's very, very valid option for any business, a gymnasium, a chiropractor, a dermatologist, a beauty parlor, a hairdresser, anybody who has regular sessions with people, you know, regularly, especially when it's beauty parlor or hairdresser, or you have a 20 minutes, half an hour with a person, and it becomes a fairly intimate relationship if they're your regular customers. And so those kind of businesses can really benefit by using the preferred customer option. Now, what does that mean? It means somebody would sign up on a monthly subscription to receive X39 or any of the other products. We have here Merle. She has the experience because she'll explain herself what she does, but she has lots of people who she has signed up as preferred customers because they're clients of hers in her practice, what she does, life alignment. And because she has that experience, because she can, and because simultaneously she's building her own matrix, she can explain kind of how it works and what her criteria is why somebody would be better as a preferred customer, why somebody would be on the matrix, then I will probably have some questions for her, and then I have some other thoughts I'd want to add to that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. So not only am I a life alignment therapist, I'm also a low carb nutrition therapist. So I see a lot of people with nutrition issues, and I see lots of people for blood tests. So I know exactly where they are medically, a lot of them, because I know if they're insulin resistant, I know if there's inflammation in the body, I know all those kinds of things. And because I know my clients really well, I know who may be interested in being a distributor and who's not going to be interested at all. So, for example, last week I signed up a client who's 80 as a distributor because I know that she wanted 5 packs. I know the family are going to keep ordering, and I know her daughter-in-laws, and I'm sure that they will actually build. So I didn't bring her as a preferred customer. So it's to know who needs to be a preferred customer and who doesn't. But then I have clients who are company directors, they're elderly, they are quite ill and very time pressed. So they may have, I've got a client with fibromyalgia. She's got 3 children. Her daughter's in matric. She's got a busy life. She can barely keep her life together. She doesn't want to build a business. She hasn't got time to do what she needs to do. So those people will benefit from the patches. But if you say to them, it's a network marketing opportunity, there's no ways they are going to join. But if I explain what the product is about, I explain the stem cells, the benefits, I give them case histories, they're happy to join to use the product. And when I say that if you sign up as a preferred customer, you're not only going to get a discount, you can get the same price that I get, but you also can cancel it at any time. And lots of other network marketing companies, if they have preferred customer strategies, you have to phone support to get it canceled. You can't cancel it yourself. Whereas here, you can actually alter it yourself at any stage. The other advantage for preferred customer is that they get a 90-day money-back guarantee. So as a customer, if they want to use the product and they get to month 3 and they're a week short of having used it for 3 months and they go, this isn't working for me, they've got that security of being able to go back to the company and say, it's working. That isn't happening for anybody, but they could do that. And it doesn't make sense to buy as a retail customer. So what you're going to do is, if you want them as a preferred customer, is you're going to send them your link, and they are going to land on your website. And they can then either go to products and choose their products or create an account first, or they can go to buy now. And if you click on buy now, you get 2 options. So say you're going to buy X39, you get the option to buy it for $149.90 something, so nearly $150. And then obviously in South Africa, tax is going to be added and shipping is going to be added. Or you get the option to buy it for $99, I think it's $99.95, it's $99 something. And then in South Africa, they add the tax and shipping, so it comes to $122.50. So that's a huge saving. So when you say, often people will get into the process and then they'll phone and they'll say, but I have to choose to have a recurring order. And yes, you do, but it's so that you get the better price. But if you decide 3 days before your next order is due that you don't want it, you can go log in yourself and you can cancel. So what they have to do is they have to go in and choose that option. Then they are going to set up their accounts. They're going to have a username and password, and they've got to choose the starting date, which is never the day you register. You can't do it the day that you register as a preferred customer. It must be for the next day, because they only take off preferred customers once a day. Can often will be too late or whatever, and you've got to choose the date. If they don't choose a date, like the next day, it will set it for the same day the next month. So that's happened a few times, and then they've got to log in again and get it correct.
Chris just said it's in a different link. No, hang on. Yeah, we use 2 links. We use lifewave.com/Merle go beyond is your link.
Merle B.
Sorry,
I used to say Merle B. It's the same link.
So lifewave.com/Merle B. The other link we use is lifewave.com/Merle B/enrollment/pacts. That's for people who.
I've seen the same link for both.
Oh, okay.
Because on that same page, join is at the top right.
Okay. All
and
right.
Buy now.
Interesting. I've never done that.
You don't need to send 2 links. You can use the same link, because that way I find that if I send the same link, They can have a look around the site and they might go, maybe I need to join, because if I join, it might be a benefit to me. Whereas if I send them only a preferred customer link, they don't get to see everything.
Okay, so but the alternative is the opposite of that is something that happened this evening with a gentleman in America. He wanted to join, but he got that link and it turned into a whole muddle and I had to phone support and cancel the account. So I would only send that link to people who are going to be preferred customers who may join. But anybody who's going on the matrix, I'll always use the enrollment for the /enrollment/packs. And since the guy didn't want to share the screen with me, so I didn't see his card number, I had no idea where he was. And it became a conversation that was like, please, let me see what's going on your screen. And then had to call support. But anyway, so your criteria for choosing a preferred customer is, number one, you think they probably will, they don't have time, or they won't be interested in the business, but you also have something else. You must have some other criteria why you would just say to them, look, me as your therapist, I recommend you use this product.
Yeah, absolutely. Because but my clients, obviously I know their lives really well. So I know that the people that I'm saying become preferred customers, if I said to them, become a distributor, they would run a mile and not use the product. Whereas if they start as a preferred customer, the possibility is there that they will become a distributor. So for example, my lash lady, I was there this week. Her father I've been talking to her since December about her father, because he's got a really bad neurological disorder and it's progressively worse, and he's now wheelchair bound all the time. And Nessie's at home, he walks with difficulty, he often collapses. I know the story because I've been with her since 2012, so I know exactly what's happening. And I've been talking and talking and talking, and every time I tell her case histories and stories, now she will only endorse something that she knows works. So she knows it's working for me, my family, and she knows the people she knows the stories I've told her, but she wants to experience it. So she signed up this week as a preferred customer to get product for her father, and we are going to be using carnosine for her father because of his specific issues, not X39. However, I know that if it works for her father, she will then become a distributor.
You said she's a lash lady. Does that mean she takes care of eyelashes?
She's a qualified beauty therapist, but she only does eyelashes and brows. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a perfect kind of custom. This is the perfect kind of person when one is developing one's business as a distributor, to tell them that they can, because she has an intimate session.
George, just hold a minute, George. I've told her everything, how much money she can make, how she can refer. She works in a practice with a lot of other therapists. She's not interested. So how do I get her in? I get her in as a preferred customer.
Right. No, but I got that. But what I'm saying is, for us here, you're a distributor, and for us here, for the businesses with which we interact, such as lash lady, such as therapist, such as chiropractor, such as gymnasium, such as hairdresser, such as beauty salon, those kind of businesses are the kind of businesses that it's a very good idea to reach out to them and say, you have this option to add this product to your offering and recommend it to your clients. For example, with Elodie's here still, yeah. With Elodie, with Merle, we spoke to a lady who's a dermatologist who wanted to try the products, but she's got a dermatology practice with lots and lots and lots of clients, and was talking about having those products being recommended to her clients. And then where we left it off, the suggestion was that she would train her receptionist to be able to fill out the registration for her clients as they finished with their session and before they leave. So, I mean, I wanted to have a call about this to explain that as an option and kind of how I see it. The next question is, what does Merle get, for example, from preferred clients in terms of points and money? So a preferred client, whether it's X39 or any of the other packs, this is something I checked earlier, it's $20.
$20
So,
for whatever product it is.
So imagine that a gymnasium with several hundred customers, talks about X39, X49, and carnosine for muscle recovery. X39, X49 work synergistically together, help muscle recovery, and carnosine helps stamina increase up to 125%, and energy enhancer for energy. So if a gymnasium recommends those 4 products, let's say 100 people are ordering those 4 products, that could be $8,000 a month being added to their bottom line. So that's something that is well worth telling them about. Now, if what happens if let's say Merle, for sake of argument, is Merle's gymnasium and has 100 people just buying, let's say, X39 and X49 together. That's $4,000 a month and 43 points per, so 86 points times 100, 8,600 points. 8,600 points. What happens with those points? And this is where it becomes really interesting. And we discovered it. I think Merle discovered it, and we were talking, and Raquel in Andalusia discovered it, because we were looking at her, and she's going, where did these points come from? So we have now 8,600 points, which accumulated this month.
And your personal volume goes onto your personal volume.
In your from those sales, those points go to your personal volume. So Merle's gym right now on the 31st of March has 8,600 points. In the first week of the following month, that will drop down to 110 points, and the other 8,490 points will go to her weak leg. So that will give her, like, if her strong leg has enough points, that'll give her something like 15 cycles, 14 cycles. Suddenly, bang, $700. So,
and I've seen it, well, not that much, but I did see it at the end of last month, because we hit the end of the month. The next day I was down to 110. My carryover went to my weaker leg, and I got a bonus cycle, which George knows because he benefits it from.
I then got commission because Merle is on my second line. So this is a super valid option, especially for professionals in the medical field, the health field, who want to use the products, want to recommend their products, especially for us as distributors who want to reach out to those kind of businesses and show them a way that they can benefit from LifeWave and the products, and their patients and their clients can benefit from those products without them having to sell a business.
And the other thing when we were talking about the points going to our points, that means that those points keep you active. So for example, one of my ladies got 2 preferred customers yesterday. She was due to purchase product by the end of the week to stay active. Now she's fine. She doesn't need to. She's not a manager yet. So her 2 people buying have given her more points than she needs, because it's 43 points per person. So she's got 2. So she's got 86 points. She needs 55 to stay active.
So that's then the other thing is, I don't know if you're aware of this, Merle, that your preferred customers, if they want to recommend to other people, they can get some points, their own points, customers' points, which will give them a possible discounts in the future. But what I would do, I would actually tell them, look, if you want to recommend to some other people, please give them my link, and not complicate any further. Say if your friends and family want to use these projects, well, we could have another conversation. You might want to buy a kit, or otherwise just give them my link.
And the other thing to be aware of is when you sign up people as a preferred customer, they're going to go through it, and you've given them a link and you're a distributor. And they get to a point where they're filling things in. And then like yesterday, somebody phoned me and they said, but what is your customer ID? And I said, no, you leave that out. I'm not a customer. So now make sure I tell everybody that where it says looks for customer ID, I'm a distributor, not a customer. You just leave that blank, because otherwise they wanted to fill in a number and then it throws the system, because actually you're putting in the distributor's ID. It's like, who recommended you? But as long as they're using your link. And the other thing is to make absolutely sure that when they log in, your name is at the top of the page.
Yeah.
Because people know we've had a couple of people where they've used the link and they've gone in on the same link and they've done it for people. And the next thing, the people that they've just registered are not there. It happened to Elodie. She can talk about it. It happened to Elodie the other day, and it's happened to Karen. So it's happened to 2 people in my downline, and both of them had to go through to support, and they had to correct it, because in the one case, it just brought on some other name, and apparently it is a flaw, and they do know, and support does know about it. So they do correct it very quickly. But just to make sure that every time someone goes on, even if you've got people signing up as distributors or brand partners, they need to check as well.
Yeah, always check once you've signed somebody on that they're actually there. So I was in helping somebody with one of those yesterday.
Okay, so Selma is saying she's read somewhere in the T's and C's that you can't sell directly to medical doctors, but you're not selling directly to them. If you're signing them up, you're not selling to them.
Good point.
That's okay, because there are many doctors who belong, and then they sign up, but you can't go and sell them patches, your X39, your sleeves.
That's a very good point. And thank you for clarifying that, because some big people asked me and I was like, wait a minute. So that's the difference between selling and signing them up.
Yeah, because signing them up, you're not selling it to them. And definitely there's some people like my lash lady who, if she sees an improvement in her father, she will then become a distributor. So I know that that's the way that I'll get her in, and she works in a slimming salon, or she has a room in a slimming salon. So there's a slimming salon, there's a hairdresser, so it's a perfect place to be. But I know that sometimes, and especially in those of you who are South African will know that a lot of South Africans have this very weird idea about network marketing. They think it's something bad, or they think it's a pyramid scheme, and it doesn't matter how, what you tell them. So for them to experience the product first is always a good way to get them in. And I think if Elodie's here, she can perhaps, because she's having exactly the same experience, that often it's easier to bring people in as a preferred customer.
Elodie, if you care to open your microphone. Hello.
Yep. sorry. Yeah, definitely. I found my sort of way is because I've never been in network marketing ever before. And I found that I had to use the product first to be kind of a testimony, and also my family. And I give patches away. I make up packs with my little business card with my enrollment name, as well as my, just to buy. So I've got 2 usernames that I use. And I definitely find so far I've got more success with preferred customers than signing distributors up.
Do you work with...
Sorry?
If you signed up the laser spa as a
yeah, but because I know her very well, and I knew that that is her type of personality, that's what she wants to do. But I found that like yesterday when I went to the hairdresser, now my hairdresser noticed that my hair on the side wasn't gray. And so I told her about that, I said it must be the patches, and, because she saw, I've got the patch and she knows me. And when I left last night at about 6 o'clock, I had 3 customers phoning me that I've never met and interested. And I had one pharmacist who came to my house at 7:30 this morning. And so he's got neuropathy, and I gave him some patches. So sometimes it's also, you talk about it. So I'm not pushing my business. I'm more sort of serving. I find if I can help somebody, even if it takes me much longer, but and I want that sort of 90-day guarantee for my customers, because so if they're not happy, that I can get the money back for them. So that is I feel it works for me. So we're all different.
And the question, do you work as Merle in some kind of therapy or therapy work?
I was a decorator, and a lot of my clients are doctors and dermatologists. So I've got a list of people, but it's a process, because you send the information out. So it's like, my lines are in the ocean, and it's just a matter of time, and they will come back. It's like, I've got a cousin in Switzerland, and about 5 weeks ago, I've put it out there, and today she said to me, I want to buy. So sometimes leaving them and just sending them information that is important, that that they will enjoy. Sometimes they come back and sometimes they don't, so that is how I work.
So you said a key word, it's a process, which is what I was talking about a lot on the Spanish call last night. And that also goes, we haven't quite finished with the preferred customer thing, but that also segues into what I wanted to talk about, which is posture and confidence. So if Elodie is talking about it's a process for other people, but it's also been a process for Elodie. So in this process, Elodie, from when you first started with LifeWave products, when you're not a network marketer, you have developed, because of what you've experienced and seen with yourself, with your family, with the people around you, you've developed a different level of confidence towards talking about LifeWave, and a different posture towards people who are like, I don't know about this. Correct? Am I correct?
Yeah, you see, I've always worked with clients. I was an interior decorator, so I've always worked with clients, but I've I sell my service, with like decorating and stuff. So selling a product is very new to me.
You're not actually selling a product. You're sharing something. Are you seeing it as selling it, or are you seeing it as sharing? Because I certainly don't see it as selling.
No, I know, but I think in the beginning, because it is a product that you eventually sell, and signing people up. Now, to me, I sell or share my experience and my, that's why I wanted to use it for a minimum of 2 months before I sort of start talking about it, because how can I talk about something if I don't see, because it's new, Merle introduced me to it. So I had to use it. And also I'm a type of person, if I do something, I want to do it like 110%. So I started researching, and I've made like a whole library of videos of testimonials. So if somebody phoned me and say, I have got MS, and then I'll send them that MS video. If somebody phoned me and said, I've got a child who's ADHD, I've got my video, and I'll send that to them. So I sort of I don't sort of just send that like a lot of people send x39.com. Now I don't. I will send them what is X39 about, or stem cells, and then I'll send them just a video specifically for them. So I'm more sort of like targeting my client's situation than the business, if you understand what I'm saying.
I do, absolutely. But two things. I guess in the past, if you'd been here, you might have been a client of mine, because I had warehouses full of furniture that I was bringing in from different countries. So okay. That's I dealt with a lot of interior decorators at one point. So I agree. You measure I very much measure what I say and what I show to the people, the exact person I'm speaking to, because everybody's their own world. But when we go back to the thing about the process, for example, the story that made me really talk about process yesterday on the Spanish call was there's a lady who in Mexico, and her mum had 3 operations on her mouth, and she was putting X39 on her cheek on both sides, and the gums were healing super quickly, much more quickly than the surgeon expected, and her pain level was very, very low. So that process that her mum went through worked on her uncle, her mum's brother, who's a medical doctor, a lung doctor in Mexico City. He saw what happened with his sister, and he then came in as silver. So it's kind of a process, you never know. So it's absolutely valid to start with preferred customers the way that Elodie feels comfortable with. But again, for us who are already distributors, it's also worth thinking about what businesses do I know. For example, my hairdresser, he phoned me up, he's signing up. He was going to sign up the week before, he's signing up this week. I never push people. So, but when I said to him, look, I want you to keep an eye on what's going on the top of my head, he said, what do you mean? And I said, you see this patch here? He said, yeah, I saw it the last time you came. I said, well, it seems that the gap is smaller, and he said, I'll keep an eye on it. And then he's like, oh, this is really interesting. Tell me about it. So, when he finally signs up, what we're going to do, and that's why I want to come back to preferred customer in marketing area, in the marketing tools, under resources, under marketing tools, right at the bottom there are these banner, these roll-ups they have in fairs. It's something that you can pull up on a stand. So he's going to put one of those in the corner of his hairdresser with his lifewave.com peluqueria. Edwin is his name, which is what his hairdressers is called. So then he'll have a talking point with his customers, and because he's basically with people regularly, he's been going to him for years, for 20-30 minutes, then he will be telling his customers. So I will be going to see the gym I used to go to, and I should probably go back to.
And you should take a photo of your head as well. You should take a photo. Take a photo, because sometimes you actually don't realize it yourself, because you see yourself every day. So
I tried it. It was a disaster. So I said, my daughter, you have to do it. We haven't done it yet, but I tried.
Well, we can do a screenshot here, Big, and I'll do a screenshot of you quickly. And we'll share it in 6 months.
Like Elodie's hairdresser, seeing that her grey hair is gone.
Yeah. She said, that is how we started.
So when she and is she going to sign up with you?
You said, George, she's too busy for that. Okay. But I know that she will pass all the people onto me.
Perfect.
So she's that type, because like I said, I had 3 customers phoning me today that I don't know from a bar soap. And the guy was here, it's a pharmacist, he was here 7:30 this morning. Wow. Flying to Joburg. So before he's gone to Joburg, he came past and I gave him some patches. So
that's super important point. If somebody who has that kind of business doesn't really want it from themselves, just ask them, can you please, or you leave them some triptychs like folletos.
I did. I've left my little business cards with her, and I did that the other day when I went to the dentist as well, because she's a friend of mine, the receptionist, because they all got all different business cards. And you know what? I remember as a decorator when I started, I printed some pamphlets, and because it cost me a lot of money. And I just remember every day at 1 o'clock, people come and open their letterboxes. And I used to park my car there when I was much younger. and they just like look at it and throw it in the bin, and then me walking, running back and picking it out of the bin because I'll go to the next post office. That's how I remember I started. But out of 100 pamphlets that I threw in the letterboxes, if I get 1% of 100, that's how it builds. And my business, I never advertised, but I did that. And it's word of mouth. People come to you. It's like this previous client, she saw on Facebook I was talking about it, and she messaged me through Facebook and said, I want the product. So sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know, and they'll start talking about it, because it's in South Africa. I find there's not a lot of, or not in Durban. Well, Merle, you can correct me.
No.
So we're fairly fortunate because I think Durban can grow quite substantially. And what Merle and I'm going to do is, I've got a friend just up the North Coast. She's very keen, but she's got about 10 friends, and she said to me, let's do an open day. Merle and I decided, let's do an open day and go to her and do a presentation to these ladies. So something like that.
I told because for a problem in another country, I'm in touch with the regional manager, the corporate regional manager, and I told her the word patch parties, because that seems to have come from Chris in South Africa. And he went, I love that. I love that.
And especially for us women, I think for men it might be difficult, but you've got other ways again to sort of reach out. But I think for us, it's so you sort of give them something and you start talking about it, and before you know it, maybe all 10 will sign up. You never know. So that's what we're going to do.
I love it. I love it.
That's exactly what we're going to do. But definitely the preferred customers are a great way to get started if people are like, that they're not quite, am I going to network? Am I going to tell people? I mean, today I spent an afternoon with 2 of my downline. Well, and the one was like, well, why would people want to be a distributor? Everybody I know is too busy. I said, well, you never know who. So if you sign them up as a preferred customer, because that feels more comfortable, when they feel happy about what they're doing, they may go, oh, well, actually, I want to refer people. I want to pay for my product, even if that's how they start. But when she started seeing, and I was showing her, okay, look at what your customers have done. You've made this much in commission, and you've only got preferred customers, and this is how the points are going to go. All of a sudden, it becomes way more appealing that, okay, I can tell my friends, they can become preferred customers. I don't have to get them to sign up or whatever. I've just got them on preferred customers, but actually I'm making $20 for everything they buy. And then another question they were asking, which was a bit silly, but I mean, obviously you don't know, is that if a husband and wife both want and they're going to be a preferred customer, she goes, must they order separately? No, they order together, but you're going to get $40 because they've got 2 sleeves or patches. So however many sleeves they get, you're going to get $20 per whatever they buy. And to make sure that they do it that way, because otherwise they're going to have to pay 2 lots of shipping.
True. So all of that. So when we come to the end of sort of the synthesis of that, there's the preferred customers for kind of businesses, and then there's having preferred customers because some people are more comfortable to start like that, and some people who are in the matrix are more comfortable to talk about that, with the option of one day becoming getting a kit and becoming a distributor. So all of that last one goes to the other thing. I don't know if Chris is coming back or not, but the other thing we wanted to talk about was confidence and posture towards other people when one has been in LifeWave for a while, and getting that. Adrian here. Hi, Adrian. Adrian Hoff. How are you? So we did a call, I guess, about a month and a half ago with Adrian, and he was one of the things he said was his sciatica his sciatica pain had gone after about 3 days, and at the same time he was saying, how do I talk about LifeWave? And I'm saying, here you have a story. This is where you start with your sciatica pain. Then the next thing is, I said, because you have seen the result in yourself, you can give more credibility to the stories you're hearing from other people. Adrian, do you want to maybe unmute? And if you're happy to kind of comment on that, because and see where you are in terms of confidence, in the growth of your level of confidence to talk about LifeWave from when we first spoke to now.
Sorry, George. Just wait a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm very confident because I suffered for a long time with or for about 3 years with my sciatica. And in fact, it was shorter. It was within a day that it left, and I've never had it. It hasn't returned. So yeah, things have been fantastic.
And so to my question about the level of confidence that you have and the posture that you can show when you're speaking about LifeWave is completely different from when you began, correct?
Totally, yeah, totally different. There was, I've got one person, George, that I really want to help, and he's had a sore back, and he came on as a, I think as a gold, and it just hasn't helped him. And I'll tell you, of all the people I wanted to help, it was this chappie, and he hasn't given up. He's what, about 80, 84, 85. And
how long has he been using what product?
He's using ice waves, and it doesn't seem to help him. I don't know.
And X39 as well?
Yeah, X39. He's got his X39.
How long has he been using them?
Probably just a month and a half, 2 months.
Okay, well, just got to continue, really.
Yeah.
Can I sort of
Yes.
Elodie, you muted yourself.
Okay, hang on, unmute. Let me press the button. I've got to press the button. Okay. Where are you, Elodie? Sorry, I lost you.
Unmute yourself, Elodie.
No, it's my fault. I've got to press the button. I didn't find her quick enough.
No,
Sorry.
she's off again. She's muted again.
I know, she pressed it.
unmute? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Is he drinking a lot of water?
Yeah. In fact, his wife said, I wondered why he's drinking so much water. So obviously, she even noticed that he was drinking more water than he used to, because that's one of the things she told him before. You know, she's quite a health freak herself. And she said, you must drink water, and he never used to. But when he was on the patches.
Okay, and
yeah,
where does he
started
put
drinking.
his patch? Where does he place
Well,
his
we've told him to put it. I've now told him to put it where the pain is. He walks with a walking stick, and you know, he's all bent over.
Okay, can I suggest maybe let him put it behind his neck, because with a lot of these sort of like results, they've actually, it's on the belly button or behind the neck. Let him place it there and see if that doesn't improve, because apparently the heat, your body heat to your neck is the highest, or to your belly button, and that's how the wavelengths sort of reach to it. So, or open the channel. So let him maybe try it behind his neck.
Well, in fact, he has been putting, you know, the X39 behind his neck, and now with the ice waves, he's sticking them on where the pain, you know, where the pain is, and then moving. I told him, but again, not, you know, being with him. I don't know if he might be putting them upside down. I don't know. He might be.
Ask him to send you a photo and say, listen, send me a photo. Because what I did with my clients, I sort of called them daily and said, okay, show me, where's your patch, and I sort of checked in with my try and check in with my clients or the people that I give patches, because often they say something and they don't do it. So, they might miss a day or something like that. I would just persevere, because sometimes your body goes through kind of a lull and it's obviously got a lot of work to do, so it just takes a bit longer.
Yeah.
But also, Lodi, what about like your sister with her arthritis and pain, and that you had to detox her first?
Correct, yeah. What happened was also my sister's got rheumatoid arthritis and she was just on X39. And I actually watched a webinar where David Schmidt was talking that often if you don't find any positive symptoms within 11 days, then your body actually is either needs glutathione or you need to detox, like with glutathione. And my sister started using glutathione and patched herself every second day. And all of a sudden, last Sunday was the first Sunday that she didn't need to inject herself with pain. So it could be that his glutathione levels are, needs to be sorted out. He's obviously full of, sort of like toxins.
Yeah.
So it could be that.
Okay, thank you. So glutathione.
Yeah.
So, but back to what I was asking you before. You said your confidence and your posture towards talking about LifeWave since we first met has changed completely. So that's what I was talking about, the process. So, and then have you got any comment to make about that? And then I would say something else.
Just as a sideline, I got all our used patches and I gave it to my son to put on his dog, because his dog had sores, and my son got gout, and he took in his wrist, and he took one of the worn out patches that we'd given him, and he put sellotape and he strapped it to his wrist, and he said that the pain went away. So it works for gout as well.
Cool. Cool. So now you've got lots of stories to tell.
Yeah. And I mean, he was, he laughed because he said, I thought I'd just try it. And he tried it. And he said, the thing works. And those were patches that had been used and were for the dog.
Somebody in the Spanish group just chucks all her old patches in her animal's bed.
Yes, that's right. I told him to do that. Yeah. So there you are.
So look, does anybody have, before we talk about anything else, does anybody have questions about preferred customers or any observations or thoughts to add to that?
Okay, so George, there was a question from Yvette, and she said, can a preferred customer buy one sleeve? Yes, they can, but they have to set up a recurring order. But it means that they can cancel it at any time. If they don't, then they've got to buy as retail. As a retail customer, if somebody buys as a retail customer and they buy an X39, you are going to make $50, but they're going to be paying $150 instead of $100, plus the tax, etc. So they can do that, and then they can cancel at any stage, but they can buy as many sleeves as they want to. Most of my customers buy one X39. I've got one that's an old couple. They buy two because obviously one each, but otherwise it's all one.
Okay.
But I've made $60 this week just on preferred customers.
And it adds up. And one day how many preferred customers do you have now?
About 10.
Right. And that is already, if they stay with it, that's, adds up to a decent amount of money annually. And if you, as time goes by and you have 50, 100 preferred customers, that seriously changes people's lives, and especially, if you have a gymnasium. I keep going back to gymnasiums because they have lots of people there, and the people in gymnasiums are all about their muscles, and X39 and X49 together with carnosine and energy is a huge option for them. So, okay, I'm just going to answer one message here that came privately.
And I think the really important thing as well with preferred customers too is to remember that those points are going to go to your weaker leg at the end of the month. So
yeah,
just
that is not only do you make those commissions, but you actually get a load of cycles. So
and you may not, if you have enough product, you may not need to buy because of, well, it does. I mean, like for me, I buy because I'm using products. I mean, I've got 2 patches on today, but you know, I'm always using and my husband's using, but if I don't need, I don't have to order because my points are covered by my preferred customers.
cool, but everything that you do order, those points would also end up going to your weaker leg, so it benefits you double.
Exactly.
So I think we've probably done pretty good on the preferred customers, unless anybody else has something to say about that, Chris, or anybody in the chat, or raise your hand, or we could talk about the other thing Chris and I wanted to talk about, which I've been referring to.
Thank you, Merle. I learned a lot from you this evening. It actually makes a lot of sense. Thank you. I didn't know about that moving to the weaker leg and everything. So, yeah, definitely makes a lot of sense. But just very quickly, George, if you can answer Thelma's question. She was asking something about.
I'll find it. I'm not, because when I'm speaking, I don't read the chat.
We did answer it, Chris. It was about selling to medical doctors.
You can't actually physically sell product. You can sign them up, but you can't go and sell the product.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the reply here. Okay, that's weird.
No, we answered it and we read the question and we answered it.
You come in late, my friend.
And then she says, can you approach beauty therapists, spas, etc.? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. No, thank you, Mel. Thanks for covering that. You got cool. All right, perfect.
So, Chris, let me ask you a question. With that understanding, would you be now saying to yourself and to people in your downline, let's reach out to gymnasiums, chiropractors, everybody, hairdressers, beauty salon, and so on, with that understanding that you didn't have before?
Yes, no, definitely. You know what? I think at the end of the day, what we need to do is give people the options. They know what they would like to do. Like what Merle was saying, they want to, you know your people, you know your customers better than anybody else does. So it's always nice to sort of say, here's the options, and if the person wants to go in as a preferred customer, beautiful that LifeWave gives that option. And it's a win-win situation for everybody, which is absolutely amazing. And, also if I have a look at this, causing fire coming from underneath. So I've got people that wanted to come on as customer, and I didn't know about that optional link. But what I did do is I said, right, here's my link. You don't have to build the business at all. You'll still go in and get the wholesale price. And so what's happened is they've fallen within the binary structure, and they've gone into their back office and they said, Chris, I've got like 24 people showing underneath me, but I haven't done anything. Where do these people come from? So it's like, well, you're already in the binary structure. And I see that all of a sudden there's like a little bit of a shift there, because I say, what are your point volume on? And I said, oh, it's showing like 8,000 or something. So, well, if you just have to sign 1 or 2 people up, you can actually start to get cycle bonuses. And, it's a gradual process where initially a person's going, I don't want to do the business at all, where they're now starting to open their mind a little bit to see that there is actually a beautiful, beautiful opportunity attached to it. So, always, if you have a look at what it is that we offering people, like Lodi was saying, you're sharing a service versus like selling a tangible product. If you have a look, if you go to a hardware store and you're going to go and buy a drill bit, you're not going to buy a drill bit from the hardware store. What you're going to buy is a hole in the wall. That's what you're doing. You're buying a hole in the wall. So you're not selling the drill bit. You're not selling what the drill bit does. You're giving the person the solution beforehand, which is the hole in the wall, which is what a person is looking for. So I absolutely love what Elodie was saying, where you know what the person's problems are. And I love the way you've got all your videos set up and you're sending the videos to the people specifically for what the people are wanting. I think that is absolutely fantastic, because what it shows me is you listening to what the people are asking, which is the most important thing. And that's one of the biggest things that we can learn, because when you ask enough questions, the people are going to tell you exactly what it is that you're looking for. Because sometimes we get a little bit overexcited, and I'm very guilty of that as well. Where sometimes I can also end up going, no, no, here's the info, here's the info, here's the info. And I go, whoa, Chris, oh my goodness, I'm overwhelming because I'm giving too much information. All I had to do is ask one or two questions, and I can be a little bit more laser focused, and rather just give them the information specifically that they're actually looking for. And then you can expand on it from there, but just keep it very targeted initially. So thank you for that, Elodie. That really makes it makes a lot of sense. And then, one of the biggest things is also sharing the information, sharing LifeWave with people with no expectation on what the outcome is. And I know that's like a little bit hard in the beginning because I send information to people and I get radio silence. Have you guys ever known that feeling you get radio silence? You sort of send information to somebody that's kind of like they just stop talking. You start like thinking, did I say the wrong words? Did I say something wrong? Have I offended them? And us as human beings, we start to overthink, and we start thinking about 10 different options in our head of what's really going on, why they're not talking to you, you've offended them. And you know what? A month later or 6 weeks later, that person messages you back and goes, sorry, I didn't get back to you. I've been dealing with this at work, or I've been having problems at home, or I've just sold my house. Everybody's dealing with something in this world. Everyone's dealing with something. And then they come back to you and say, no, I'm interested now. And it's so opposite to what you had in your own head, because they're coming back to you saying, I'd like to try the product, or how do I get involved, or please send me more information. And it's just not having any expectation. And it happened to me on Tuesday. I spoke to a guy, I sent him a message, haven't spoken to him in about, I don't know, just before COVID. And he said, how are you doing? I sent him, I sent a WhatsApp back saying, I had a very tough couple of years, but I'm like on my feet now. I'm very excited. Got enrolled in a company called LifeWave, sent him some info, nothing. Now, 3 months ago, I'd be going sweating, going, oh my God, why is he not getting back to me? But I've like forgotten about that. I'm really speaking to so many people, but I know that all I've done is planted the seed. And that's what we do. We're sharing and we're planting seeds with people. And I don't know if you guys have heard me say this before. In the morning, what I do is I blow my dog whistle. Not a physical dog whistle, my imaginary dog whistle. And because we're working with frequency, I blow my imaginary dog whistle, and I know that it's going to get to the right people. So when my message does go out there, they're going to receive it, and kind of, you're not going to believe how many times this is happening where people are coming back to me saying, Chris, I was literally just thinking about you, and I got the message from you. Because with the product, we are raising our frequency.
You told me one yesterday where you were talking about a person and they phoned you that moment.
George, I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps. That is literally 1 in 1 billion. The chances of that person phoning, which I've never spoken to on my personal cell phone before. That person, I don't even have the number saved on my phone. And I was with somebody else that knows this person. And we were talking. And I said, we need to speak to this person. And 5 minutes later, that person, I didn't know the number. I said, hi, this is Chris speaking. This is so-and-so. I'm going, my eyeballs went this big. My eyeballs went this big. Absolutely blown away. So, yeah, that's what it does when it raises your frequency. And, just very quickly, we were talking about your belief. What both Merle and Elodie both touched on it as well, is, once once you believe in the product yourself, like Lodi's saying she wanted to use the product for 2 months first. I get you. I understand exactly what you're saying. You know, I feel like I can't share something with somebody if I don't believe in it. 100% is not even good enough. It's got to be 120% before I would share something to somebody. And you guys know my story. You guys know, end of last year, I was kaput. I was burnt out, burnt out, burnt out. I was not a happy camper. And then, George shared the product with me, and I look at, in a very short time frame, only 5 days, I look at the difference of my clarity of thinking, and I thought, this can't be coincidence. It cannot be. And then just looking at all the rest of the changes, but what sealed the deal for me, hands down, is what it did for my mom. So I don't have to go.
So then the process is something I've been talking about a lot with the Spanish people. So the process and the confidence that develops as time goes by, and that gives you posture towards people who are like, the people, the doubters, and the ones who go, no, it's got to be a placebo effect or so on. That gives me, I just play with them. I don't ever get, it doesn't reach me. Whereas maybe somebody at the beginning, they'll be downhearted or cast down, to use a biblical expression, when somebody doesn't react in a positive way. So on. Do you want to talk about all that, Chris, a bit?
Yes. Yeah. Having that confidence, yes, gives you that posture power, because, like I said to you, I mean, looking at what it did for my mom, that was totally the turning point for me. So what that gave to me is, do I need to worry about the case studies, and is it approved by the FDA, and this, and has it got this, and has it got this certification and papers? That all goes out the window, because I know 1 trillion billion% that the product works, right? And then the biggest thing that I don't think people actually realize, what goes into getting a patent. People don't realize that to get one patent, the product, by law, because you can go to jail. A company can get closed down for fraud if you're trying to do something to get it patented, and the product does not do what you say that this product does. You could actually go to jail. So when you get issued a patent, this is a binding legal contract. It's in the constitutional law, because to get a patent, it has to do what it says. Now, guys, there's not many people in this world that have patents. You get a person that's got 10 patents, you go, wow, my goodness gracious, that is a lot of patents. Guys, David Smith has got 133 patents on the LifeWave products. How insane is that? So that in its own is enough proof that the product does what it does. And then never mind the case studies that actually have been done, and then the testimonies that come through on a daily basis is just absolutely phenomenal. And so I got confidence, guys. I've put my neck out. You're talking about the get-togethers and the patch parties. You guys have seen me on Facebook. I'm all over the place. I'm just doing patch parties for everybody, and at our patch parties, 100% of the people, they sign up and become part of LifeWave, because I take a very big chance, and we got, I don't know, 15, 20 people at a patch party. And I asked the people straight out, is there anybody that's got pain right now? At every single patch party I've been to, somebody is suffering with pain. I didn't realize, since coming back into this industry, that people are suffering with so many things. And
That's true.
It's actually quite scary, hey? It's scary.
True.
Didn't realize it.
Keep it to themselves mostly, and then things come out when you're doing this. I thought about that today, actually.
Yeah, and so yeah, I put my neck out, and at the patch party, that ice wave, guys, That's a power product. Yes, it's putting a band-aid, it's putting a plaster on, it's not going to the core issue. That's where you talk about the glutathione and the X39. I mean, that's your foundation, right? But if you want to have a showstopper to show people that it actually works as quickly as it does, you get that ice wave and you put your finger where that pain is and you do the clock method that David Schmidt talks about. You do the clock method. And, if you guys don't know what the clock method is, it's basically, it's taking, now, as you guys know, with the ice wave, it comes with the two different colors. So if you have a look over here, that's empty here. So you got the patch, you got the white one. With the ice wave, you get two. You get the tan one and you get the white one. So there's only two products in the range that come with two different colors. That's the ice wave and the energy enhancer. So what you do is, say for example, your main pain area. So you get the person, guys. You must get your people to tell you themselves to feel your body. Feel your body. So kind of you rub your hand and say, right, where is the pain? And they go, oh, it's over here. That's where the pain area is. So what you do is you take the brown one and you stick it on, right? And then what you do is you take the other one and you peel it off and you put it at 12 o'clock over here. So you put it on and then you give it about 30 seconds and you say to the person, say your pain from 0 is no pain and your pain hectic is 10. That means it's bad pain. Where is your pain sitting at? The person says about an 8. So you put it there, leave it for 30 seconds, and then you say, from 1 to 10, what's it feeling like? No, it's not doing anything. Take it off, move it to 3 o'clock, leave it there for about 30 seconds. And then you ask them about 30 seconds later, what number is it at? And I'm like, oh, hang on. I can feel something. It's about a 7. Okay, oh, cool. Take it off. Let's put it underneath there. Let's put it at 6 o'clock. Leave it there for 30 seconds. If they start feeling like a bit of a shooting feeling or a tingling, something, take the rest of the patch off, leave it, and you stick it there. And literally within, you can ask Sandy. Sandy's on the call here. She's witnessed it 3 times at 3 different patch parties. Within 2, 3, 4 minutes, the person's sitting there going, what the hell have you actually just put on my shoulder? Pain is actually going away as we're speaking. That is how powerful the product is, and that's how powerful the ice wave is. So we've always got X39, we've got ice wave with us wherever we go, because there's somebody. I mean, we were at a talk this afternoon. I mean, we just got home tonight before getting on the call. We were invited to talk there, and as we were walking out to the car, a lady is an estate agent, and she was quite young. I'd say she's probably, sure, I'd say about early 40s. And she said that she's got arthritis and she's in the early 40s. And I said to her, how long have you had the pain for? She said, about a year now. And I said, where? She said, mainly in her hands. So I said to her, all right, I'm going to do just the X39. I said to her, which hand is the worst? And she said, no, it's this one over here. I said, pinpoint for me where the main pain is. And she said it was about over here. So I took the X39 and I put it there. Within a minute, she actually said, oh my God, I'm actually feeling something. I said, just leave it on. So it's really quite late in the afternoon. So I said to her, leave it on the whole morning at tonight. And when you go to bed, just take it off and put it onto like a little plastic bag or something to keep the stickiness. Because otherwise you're going to waste the patch. You know what I'm saying? Because by the time she goes to bed, it would have only been on for maybe 4 hours. So here in South Africa, we'll squeeze every drop out of patch that we can. I said to her, the next morning when you wake up, take it off the little plastic bag and then put it back in your hand in the morning and drink lots of water. And then we're going to keep the communication going with her. But it's just so amazing that people feel something quite quickly. And that just blows my mind. Hey, that simply blows my mind.
I don't know if you heard this while you were off, but I'm in touch for an issue with another country, with the regional Lifeway regional manager for Europe and South Africa and so on. And I told her about the patch parties and sent her actually some pictures of your patch party. She goes, patch parties, I love it. So I think maybe you should get patchparties.com or something like that.
That's one, George. Sorry, Lodi, you wanted to say something? Let me ask you, Lodi, to unmute.
Yeah, she's co-host now, so she's got a mic.
Sorry, no. It's just one of the ladies actually asked a question, and I don't think we've answered her. Selma, she wanted to ask a question about, you know, the 90 days. So maybe just let her ask the question. There's a few people.
Yeah, okay. Just let me find her here. Thank you. I'm good for looking in the chat because I kind of put it.
I missed that. I said, well spotted. I missed that.
I'm getting private messages here.
Hi. George, I just want to find out about the preferred customer on the 90-day money back guarantee. So generally in South Africa, if we've got a 90-day product guarantee, we obviously have to return something back to the factory or the manufacturer. In this case, what do you return? Because
it's a good question. Maybe
because
Mark knows the answer.
Okay, so what's going to happen? Okay, it hasn't happened for anybody yet because it's worked for everyone.
Yes.
But there's a 90-day money back guarantee. So before their 90 days are up, so say a week before, they're going to have to contact support through their back office, because even as a preferred customer, they've got to log in an account. They'll have to contact either email or go through the chatbot and say, I've been using it for, and well, they'll know how long they've been using it for because obviously of their orders. Product is not working for me. I want to take up the guarantee, you know, the money back, and they will then tell them what to do. But I signed up my first preferred customers in December, and nobody has said it's not working. They want their money back.
Yeah, because
another thing is, there's just a sleeve. They can see on the system that you have ordered it and when you've ordered it. So you do not have to send anything back to them, because their guarantee is, I actually read about it. You don't have to send a product back, because on your preferred customer, you have got that guarantee. When you sign up, you actually tick, 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 and it says their 90-day back guarantee, and no questions asked. They give you your money back if you're not happy.
So, because the reason why I'm asking that is because when you take the patch off, you dispose of it. So there's nothing to return.
No, it's that you saying that the product hasn't worked. So if you ask for the money back, but now you've got to remember that for us as distributors, our guarantee is only 30 days. 90 days for customers and 30 days for distributors.
Yeah, I'm just scared that you get a South African that says, okay, but what, like for me, if I return a expanded door back to the factory, because it's got a 90 day.
It's not like an expanded door. You throwing them away. You don't. They don't want anything back.
They don't.
But I would suggest that you, for your own comfort,
that question will come up.
No. That's why I'm saying this. For your own comfort, I would contact live chat tomorrow and ask.
Lodi's already read it all in the terms and conditions.
And I've chatted to them because I tell you what happened. It was actually not one of my preferred clients. One of my clients, Debbie's clients, after 10 days, he threw his pack of X39 away. So, and I've been phoning him, sort of just to check. I phone her customers as well, And so he said to me, no, it's not helping me at all. I threw it away. So I said, what? And he said, I was silly. Hey, I said, of course. I said, you got 90 days. I said, some people can feel a difference or see a difference within hours. Some people take a few days. Some people, they were saying 3 weeks. So you haven't even, you know, for the 10 years that you've had problems, you want to sort it out in 11 days. And straight away you said, okay, send me another pack. And I said, no, no, no. This time I'm going to sign you up as a customer. And I'm not selling you a pack. I'm signing you up as a customer, and you'll see you've got the 90-day money back guarantee. And then that's when I spoke to the chat line, and I said, what do you do in a case like that if a customer is not happy and they've used it for 90 days? And she said, no, nothing needs to be sent back because they pick it up on the customer's ID that they've used that product for like 90 days, and they will refund the customer happily. So because the banking details, the card details and everything is linked. So she said, you don't need to send anything back.
Guys, what does this tell me? You know, this tells me that the company, it's their money where their mouth is. That's how confident they are, right? I have never seen a company do that. And also, this company is built on trust and integrity. How's that? Trust and integrity. So if somebody wants to take a chance to do that, it's kind of like on them. But you think that the company is actually going to put their neck out and actually give that type of guarantee, it's absolutely unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. So that's just that can give absolutely anybody peace of mind. I'll give you an idea. Nancy's on the call now. Nancy's order, I think it was, I can't remember if it was December or January. Her sleeves arrived. She ordered 2 sleeves of X39, and what came in the post was 1 sleeve and 2 pamphlets. And she opened it up, and she sent the picture to me and said, Chris, oh my goodness, they only sent me 1 sleeve of X39. What are we going to do? She made contact with them. Guys, you know what they did? They authorized it for it to be sent to her with no questions asked.
Same happened to me. I also had it.
Guys, where do you find that type of trust? My goodness gracious me. I mean, anybody could lie about something like that.
I had something right at the beginning because my daughter said there's only 15 in the ice wave. So I called them and she said, so my daughter's only 15. They put another one in the post, and when it arrived, I saw the first, I gave it to her and I said, but where's the other packet? Let me see. And she hadn't seen that there's a sleeve in the middle, and it's got 2 parts. I felt really bad, but they didn't question it. Because she hadn't seen that it was divided into 2 sections.
But I had exactly the same thing as Nancy. When I upgraded to gold, I only got 1 pack and the extra flyers in, and they just
they
logged it. I had to follow it a few times, but apparently it's a South African thing. They know that it happens in South Africa.
Yeah.
Because I phoned George and I said, what do I do?
Yeah, I put that
Thelma, does that answer your question, Thelma? You don't have to worry about that. So if they're not happy after 90 days, there we go. They'll get their money back. No questions asked.
Yeah, it's just because we sometimes get the question in our business, but yeah, it's fine. I've got the answer. Thank you.
The reality is if it's working for them and they try that, they're not going to be able to buy. So, you know.
Okay, but let's go back to what I was saying, process and confidence. So the Thelma's question, and don't take it amiss that I'm using you as an example, Thelma's question is Thelma's in the process of developing her confidence to be able to talk about LifeWave, and that is one of the things that she needs so that she has the confidence, at least on that front. So what we can say is the more time you spend with this, the more and the more things you see, the more your confidence develops. But I didn't see in the beginning how much of a process that is. And it's a process that takes place over 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 5 months. I'm now with this 5 months, and my confidence is come to the point such where I'm saying, it's not only that I want to tell people about this, not only that I can see that we're offering a great company which is giving 60% back to distributors and therefore I'm getting financial stability that I wanted, because I had a lot of problems after COVID and my other business is falling apart. But I'm also coming to the point where my confidence is such and my posture is such where I'm saying it's an obligation we have to share this. It's not only that I want to share it, it's now become, but I wouldn't have said that 5 months ago. And maybe if you're at the beginning of this, you're going to go, this guy's a little bit nuts. There's noise on the line. I'm going to switch off. So there's this guy's a little bit nuts. He's saying, what is it, an obligation? But 5 months in, I don't know if Chris feels like that, because I feel with the last few years of the madness we've gone through, there's so little that we can put on a practical level against the madness, and Life Wave products are one of those things. You can get onto lots of sites where people are talking about how to cope with I try to be non-denominational. I don't know, some people are vaccinated, some people are not vaccinated. I decided not to be vaccinated. I know people who've suffered side effects. Some people don't believe there can be side effects, whatever. But we have a lot of people who are very unwell. And this is a very practical thing that we can put, but not only for their health. When people write to me, like my friend Raquel in Andalusia, the change in my mother has brought a joy to our family. This is not just one person's health. This goes out into the environment. What Chris says, raising the frequency. When a lady here in Mallorca, 76, she says, not all my physical symptoms have gone, but there's much less than there were. But I'm finding it almost impossible to be negative. That was the one sentence in what she wrote that really struck me. So that's why I wouldn't have said this 5 months ago, but now I do. It's an obligation. We have to share this. Anyway, I'll be quiet on that one. But the confidence has the process, and the confidence that having gone through the process, even though I was confident, I'm many times more confident. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely, George. And it takes me right back to the the 90-day protocol, which is so important. And then also what we were listening to Dr. Stacy, she was talking about rule of thumb. If you take your age, so if you are say 50 years old, you've got to be on the patches for 1 month for every decade that you are alive to get your body to a semi-optimum level. If you're 70 years old, you've got to be on the patches for at least 7 months to get your body to a stabilized position. So yeah, like what I think Merle was touching it as well. Yes, you get one patch wonders. You do get that. But there's some people that have got a lot of problems inside their body that they don't even know about. And it's going to take a while. And people, they can have very false expectations. So you're going to be very careful of people's false expectations, because some people, it's going to take a while. And yes, you cannot have a person, wow, they've had a problem for 10 years and they're expecting after 11 days for a miracle to happen. Rah, come on. People need to be realistic at the same time. They've got to be realistic. And now I say to every single person before I patch them, say, I don't know what your eating habits have been like. I don't know your health habits. I don't know what's happening inside your body, right? Everybody's body is different. When I put this patch on, this could work in 30 seconds. It could work in half an hour. It could work in a day. It might work in a week or even 21 days. We just don't know. But just have the faith and just put the patch on and just, drink lots of water, guys. That is like one of the most important things. I've had somebody saying the patches were working for me. Now it's kind of like it's not doing what it was doing. The pain's sort of coming back. And the first thing I ask a person, it was actually somebody in South Africa. And guys, remember 2 weeks ago we went through a heat wave? You remember how hot it was in South Africa? The first thing I said is, are you drinking more water? And they're like, oh, no, I'm not. Increase your water intake, because when it's hot, you're going to perspire more. They increased their water intake. 2 days later, they sent me a message going, Chris, you were right. The pain's gone away. So, and that's right, maybe because it was very hot. I mean, it was boiling here in South Africa 2 weeks ago. So keep that in mind. Helen. How is Cyprus today, Helen? Let's ask you to unmute. Helen. Okay, Helen changed her mind. This has been absolutely beautiful, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everybody that's participated. Thank you for the questions. Merle, thank you so much for taking the time out. You've really, I think you've given a lot of perspective. You've given me a lot of food for thought, let me tell you, definitely. Elodie, thank you so much. And George, as usual, thank you. Thank you. If it wasn't for you, none of us would be here right now. I've got gratitude to you, like you have no idea. Okay, we got Roy on, and then I think let's call it a
Chris,
night.
quickly,
Yes.
I just wanted to ask George. Helen wanted to get hold of you because she wanted to sort my account out. So please, can we do that afterwards?
George, you muted.
George, can you hear?
I think he might be
Oh, there we
talking
go,
to-
George.
I muted myself out. Helen's in touch with me. Roy, I've got a call in half an hour. I need 15 minutes at least, but we'll deal with your issue.
No problem.
I'll call Helen in a moment.
Super. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay, pleasure, Roy. Coolness. Oh, yes, Lodi, yeah, go ahead.
Can I
We can't hear
No,
you.
you muted yourself
You've
again.
muted
Elodie.
yourself again.
Okay, got it. Clearly, I'm not so. George, I actually wanted to ask you, how did you start, if I may ask you, because I don't know your story. Do you mind sharing it?
Yeah, no, of course. How did I start? Somebody said, I'm sending you this video. You should watch it. It's about stem cells. And I said, you know what? I'm not interested. They're made out of stolen placenta and aborted fetuses and God knows what. It sounds barbaric to me. And they said, no, this is different. And then I looked at this video and I thought, 36-minute video. But I had a commitment to that person. I said, okay, Sunday morning is, because I can't, videos, people send you videos and I don't have time to watch like 50 videos in a day. And then even if it's a Netflix series, I like to see, okay, an 8-part series, not a 60-part series. So it's like, I've got to watch this because I said I would. And I started to watch the video, which is David Schmidt speaking with the health professionals, 36-minute video. And I was like, what? If this is real, if this is true, it's absolutely revolutionary. And it's from the inside out. It's not from the outside in. And I liked his energy and I liked his way. I love his measured way of speaking. So that made me say, I need to talk to somebody who's been in this with LifeWave for a while. And that same day, I think it was, I got to speak with Javi, and then we just got on. And that's kind of how I started. I will add this. I've been, COVID seriously affected my businesses. I had developed an online platform for the restaurant business, for the purchasing side of restaurants, not from the sales side. All restaurants buy from 10 to, it's same in South Africa, 10 to 15 suppliers. One wants a fax, one or an email, one wants a WhatsApp, one wants a phone call, one sends the guy around. Complete disaster. We unified it on a platform. We had the head of the Restaurant Association of England saying, we have to have this here. A guy was about to put $1.5 million into it. 2 years of talking with his people, his lawyers, his tech people. COVID came, boom. That's what happened to that project, because nobody knew if their restaurant was going to be open or not. A boat that I was building, they was messed up because they couldn't get the right workers to it. Because it was outside the Naples city lines and everybody works in black, so they didn't have the paperwork, they couldn't get to the boatyard. I managed to rescue it the day before the boatyard was closed. Cost me an extra 50,000-60,000 euros to get it to where it needed to be. Other things, I'm not going to bore you with that, but I was looking for something to give me regularity. Now, in the mid-2000s, I did network marketing, but I didn't like, I learned a lot of things, but this company, and I think their product is great, still think their product is great, but I didn't like when you need to be intelligent, but not too intelligent, because they kept saying, forget about the products, talk about the opportunity. And that's the wrong way round. This works because the product does what it does. It's what I say, it's a process. You give some people, or they start to use it, and then the people around them seeing as what's happening, they're going, I'm interested. Look at the story of Karen. Your Karen.
Videoing her tomorrow. Lodi and I are having breakfast with her tomorrow.
Give her my regards. If anybody doesn't know her story is astounding. 10 years ago, she or more has an accident.
Janice was with her. George, Janice was in the car with her when she had the accident.
Oh my goodness.
31 years ago.
The patches have absolutely changed her life, her family's life, and the life of, and what has been seen by the people all around her, that they're all saying, hey, well, I want these patches. So that's different. This is not a network like a network marketing company where we're selling is in a network. This is one of the Spanish people, she said to me, sanándonos en red, healing ourselves as in red is in a network, in a group, in a, so that's how I see it. Very, very different too. But back to your question, Elodie, I was looking for regularity. And some of the other things I was doing were not giving me regularity. And I did stuff with crypto and this and that and the other. Crypto kind of bores me. I mean, I can see it, but it's mental. It's not passion. Even though different crypto projects I was in, I had passion for those projects at the time because they were doing something interesting. But two things. Crypto reaches 15-20% of the world. Health reaches 80% of the world. Another thing, this is a consumable. It's a patch. I have bought a frequency machine called Healy. Some of you may or may not know it. I've got it here, and I bought it. Luckily, I made some money with crypto, and I bought it. It was almost 2,000 euros. Anyway, it's in this pouch here.
George, can I interrupt you just for a second?
Yeah.
I heard you coughing quite a bit. So
much less.
Can I suggest you put a glutathione right here?
Okay, I'll do that.
And let's see you.
Okay.
But I used to cough for 3 to 5 minutes. People who know me, I used to cough for 3 to 5 minutes, and would have to disappear. Now it's like one cough or half a cough or cough and a half. So the difference has been huge. And actually, there's somebody who joined solely because she heard my cough she was used to hearing.
Yeah.
So, but back to the regularity and so everybody needs health. So a consumable product. I love the idea of this Healy device, but nearly 2,000 euros, and I used it for 2 weeks, and I think it's great. But I went away on a trip. I came back. I took it with me. I thought I'll use it. Different place, sleep in a friend's house, another house, and don't use it because you're out of order. Came back, then I was busy with my summer season. I haven't opened it since. And I think it's a great thing. This frequency medicine, consumable, a patch. People don't need to think about it. They just stick it on and it works. It works. So this is why, all of the reasons why I say, okay, I'm going to give my energy to this. But as in the process, I've got more to the point where it's not only a great business, it's not only a great product, but it's also an obligation because of the madness that we've been living to tell other people. I don't know if that's a good answer to your question. But yeah, but you can hear the energy and passion behind that, you know. So it's what I'm, you know, it's here in front of me every day, all day long, every day. And I throw seeds and I help people, and it's growing every day, and the story is coming every day, and that's what I love. And we can not only help people with their physical health, their emotional health. You know, for example, Karen's emotional health and the emotional health of her family from the result is got to be tremendous. The improvement, because of the improvement in their physical health. We can help people with their financial health and spiritual health, and that's something that becomes a mission. Okay, I've probably said enough.
No, thank you, George. Well, you know, when George got my attention, I phoned him on that Saturday and he just said two things to me. He said, the company is 19 years old, Chris. Straight away, stability. And he told me about the patents. I said, I mean, patent was enough. They signed the deal for me. Patent, 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in a good place. In a good place. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you all so much for your time. Yeah.
Chris.
Mm.
Hi, I let you log in on my phone. Sorry. How's it? It's Helen here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How's
What's
it?
up?
Hello, can I put my 2 cents worth here? I want to, if you've got time, I wanted to thank all of you for an informative chat tonight. It was so wonderful to hear all your experiences. I just wanted to mention something. You know, we've all entered this incredible, wonderful world of this innovative, patented, transformative, unique, mind-blowing, groundbreaking technology. And the thing is that a lot of us come with different experiences, and some from a wellness and medical background and others not. And through this experience of wearing the patches, we are seeing the transformation on a, you know, on a very unique basis, where the timing is very different for each person. And some of having very speedily results and others not. It's taking a couple of weeks, some a couple of months. But we must also realize that there's a scientific protocol here, as David had very rightly indicated, where the X39, for example, has a process whereby every 3 months there's a certain scientific protocol that takes place. For example, with X39, he says to you there's 4,000 genes that begin to reset, right, in the first few days. Within the first 3 months, you're going to see physical change. Within 6 months, active stem cell repair. Within 6 months, reverse aging. That doesn't happen overnight. So it's like falling pregnant and wanting your baby to come, you know, to be able to give birth within 4 months. It's not going to happen. So we need to give it that time. Secondly, in terms of the posture and the confidence, even if some of us are on the patches and we still don't always believe immediately because of not seeing results immediately, the fact of all the testimonies that we hear is so incredible that in itself is proving to us, or some who might have doubted in the beginning, that this definitely does work, right? Hey, Chris? So
100%, hands down.
Amazing.
Hands down. Yeah.
And also, what Elodie was doing is wonderful because she has the background and she has the experience, and we can associate and send the correct video that is related to the person's condition. But not everybody is always equipped. And I was somebody who was overanalyzing, and Chris, you know that, and George as well, that it held me back a little bit because I was wondering what patches to refer. But there again, we know that the X39, even if we're doubting, the X39 being the basis and the master patch, if everybody starts with that, it starts the reactivation and regeneration process. So it's so beautiful to be in this community and to learn as we go. And it's wonderful to hear everybody's experiences. So I want to thank everybody for that. And I'm so looking forward to see the results in the future, in the long-term future, of what how it's transforming all of us. So thank you for being such an incredible team. Thank you, Chris and George, for your leadership. I'm going to bounce off now. And I appreciate you. We love you all. And have a beautiful evening, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
God bless.
All right. See you guys. See you guys on Wednesday. And chat to you guys in the group. Love you guys. Night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.